All right, Matty, we are back with the Ask Matty show, and we have a lot of questions from the team today, specifically about Casper, a little bit about XRP, and some follow ups from our after hour show on Monday about our thoughts on the current political environment relating to Donald Trump and his thoughts on crypto. We are going to get into it here, team, but Matty and I were having great conversation before the show right now, and there are a lot of things that you guys just don't quite understand. You guys are, unfortunately, when it relates to Casper, asking the wrong questions. Matty, share with the team what you were sharing with me before the show here about some of the things you're hearing out of the Casper community.
Yeah, so I don't bury myself in a lot of the telegrams and discords for every project just because it's a lot. I definitely want to keep up with important announcements and keep those channels unmuted, but I don't really dive into the community sectors just because there's so many comments in there. But I just felt this need to go check out what was happening in the Casper community group telegram there, and really it's concerning that there are so many people that don't understand blockchain is all. They don't understand how proof of stake works. They don't understand consensus, and they think that they are some sort of shareholder, and that they are voicing their concerns to a company that is supposed to turn them in a profit. The big thing I want you guys to take away from this is that crypto is not a security, right? We've had this big discussion. We continue to see this established in court time after time. It does not represent an investment contract. Casper Labs owes you nothing. So I would encourage you guys, like we always talk about, we say do your own research. And I'm not even saying do your own research on a particular token. Some of you guys genuinely need to go back and learn about what a blockchain and how it works, what consensus is and how it works. Because so many of you guys are frustrated right now. And of course you should be frustrated, but you don't understand that this is baked into the model. And this is how we secure the network. Validators utilizing the proof of stake model is securing the network. So what they did by identifying a bad actor, controlling the threat, developing a patch, and of course we're waiting for that to be deployed back on chain, is a very natural chain of events. So I want you guys to at least do a little bit of research into what blockchain is as a whole, because I think a lot of you guys are only here to focus on price or what can I get 100x out of, but you have to understand that this is a very real possibility of any chain, right? Of any chain that has a consensus protocol, that if there is a security breach, that the chain can be halted until a patch is put in place. And if you can't deal with that, if that's something you can't emotionally handle, this is not the space for you. All right.
Team, we are here for the long run, and I've seen some of your comments, and you guys think we shill Casper or we have given price targets, and I don't think you guys really put on your thinking caps and really listen to the words that are coming out of our mouths. We have no involvement with Casper here. We are simply believers in Casper. We are believers in crypto, and Casper is a coin that we have selected to invest in. And so that is what we are looking long term, but we are looking short term. And now the sentiment right now is not great. Is there a little chink in the armor? I'm going to say again, the little chink in the armor from last show from this security breach. A little bit, but what has changed on the fundamental front? I haven't heard anything about IBM stopping or, hey, we're going to halt on, Prove AI, and there's people jumping ship at Casper. That has not been taking place. Everything looking from the outside, looking in on Casper, everything has just continued on. We got webinars going on. They got educational tools coming out every single day, and they've been communicating every day with the community to say, hey, we are give you an update tomorrow. This is where we're currently at right now. We're doing through the process right now, and you should expect something by, we're expecting another announcement later today. And so they're very transparent with that. They haven't jumped ship and went radio silent. We've seen that in other cryptos and other projects and other networks. So team, that is where we are at right now. We are still waiting on a little bit more info. I was discussed with Matt though. It is a little frustrating, it is now Wednesday and we have not got the answers that we want. It has been since the 26th of July. It is now July 31st and we have not gotten the answers we have wanted, Matt. And so that in itself is like something like, okay, security breach, we have to halt the network. And then it's like, hey, I know you guys are giving me announcements and all, but it's July 31st now. What are you doing? So that's what we are waiting on, team. If this scares you, jump ship. I don't care. We don't care what you guys really do. Jump ship. I don't really care. But this is I really want you guys to go back to the after hour show and listen to the things that were discussed as it relates to fundamentals in a project. When the red flags arise, what should you be expecting, right? We've talked about plenty of other cryptos. The problem right now, though, is, Matty, it is the most unfortunate timing. All right,
Right.
considering where Bitcoin's at, considering we got election coming up, Fed's about to cut rates. So it's like everything is about to be propelled higher. And then we have this chink in the armor with the Casper network. Okay. That is the only problem I'm really having right now. This could happen at any time before. And I've been like, okay, that's unfortunate. But we're just going to have to get through it. So that's where we're currently at, team. We're going to answer your questions now. I just had to preface that because Matty and I were just discussing it before the show. And I feel like that is worthy, talking points to deliver to you guys, because that's what we're here to do. It's to deliver you the information. We're not here to talk shop and talk about how we feel and talk about price predictions. Yes, those things are fun. Those topics are fun. But when it comes down to it, what are we doing? I'm not selling. I think that's pretty crystal clear. What are you doing, Matty?
Yeah, no, obviously I'm not selling right now. I plan on doing some more purchasing and resuming my purchasing when the network's back online. My faith hasn't wavered, due to this outage.
Buzz off, guys. If you guys don't like what we have to say, go watch another show. We're going to continue to do what we're going to do here, all right? We're not changing for nobody. Matty, let's get into the questions here. But before we get into the questions, become a CryptoCharged member. Click the pin link in the comment section down below. That will take you to our website, a crypto education platform. You cannot buy crypto there. We teach you how to buy crypto there. We teach you strategies, and you become a part of the CryptoCharged community via the Discord, where you can talk. And, if you have frustrations or you need help, that is where you voice them. And we have, what is it? 24/7 support with Crypto Moonblaster and other, other moderators, and then Matty's always in there. But team, if you really need that, which I think you do, become a CryptoCharged member. Use code YouTube. Let's get into your guys' questions, comments, and hot takes. Matty, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Danny says, has the Casper security breach changed your price targets for the upcoming bull run? Thanks, guys. Love what you do.
Well, first of all, appreciate it. Definitely glad to know that there's some folks out there that definitely get some value from the content we put out here for you guys. No, it hasn't changed my price targets. When you look at where we are now, we're basically contending with the same low that we had before the security breach occurred. That wick that occurred on July 5, where we saw a lot of assets, including a lot of altcoins, really get their teeth kicked in. That wasn't unique to Casper. Again, of course, seeing Casper already at lows and then go poke a new low is not fun. But we're basically contending with the same lows. I discussed on After Hours what the different possibilities of what is going to happen price-wise when the network restarts. You're going to have a lot of volatility because you're going to have people who, are able to immediately buy an Uphold. You're going to have people who are going to undelegate. So after 14 hours of the chain being back online, let's say even first 24 to 36 hours being back online, you're going to have people undelegating, you're going to have people panic selling, but you're also going to have people who want to get into this project or maybe want to add to this project that weren't able to over the last several days. And you're going to see some of that buy demand step in, especially because Uphold is one of the few places that U.S. customers can buy directly with fiat. So we're definitely going to see a lot of volatility. I'm not promising you guys it's going to be, hey, network restarts, price immediately goes up. But from a long-term target perspective, everything we have in the coin library, I'm still very bullish on. I definitely think we see at least $1 this coming cycle for Casper. Remember, guys, it's a pretty small cap. It doesn't take a ridiculous amount of money to make Casper move, which is a good and bad thing. Right now, to the downside, a lot of volatility to the downside. Everyone says, that hurts, right? But then it takes less money to move it upwards, and we're all okay with that volatility that's associated with the small cap. So personally, my targets haven't changed. My faith in those targets hasn't changed. We would have to see something really, really fall apart here, to where right, like the network's going to be down, let's say, for 3 months or something ridiculous like that, which I don't think is going to be the case. I don't want you guys coming for me in the comments for something like that. But we'd have to have a really big fundamental issue in order for us to see a deprecation in price, let's say below a penny or something like that. And I don't think we're getting there. So personally, I'm staying put. I'm going to be adding when we're resumed with the network as normal.
Spin says, CryptoCharged, what options are available to buy Casper in the US? Seems like all access points blocked in recent weeks.
Yeah, so it's going to be Uphold when they're back online. It's not recent weeks. This was just over the weekend. So when you're, what was it, Saturday? Was it 26 on Saturday or was 26. That Friday? 26 was Saturday, I believe. So basically went down on the weekend, which we talked Friday. Okay, sorry. So went on Friday afternoon. I already explained, it's the worst possible thing for any tech company when something explodes over the weekend. I've even had it with our platform when we had a DDoS attack on one of the servers that we were using, and we were down for a full 48 hours. It was very, very frustrating. We had one dev, and he has vacation time as well. So sometimes you have to just deal with these things. But Uphold is going to be the place that you're going to be able to, as a U.S. citizen, most easily purchase. A lot of people are getting their MEXC and their KuCoin access closed off. KuCoin should have completely been closed off by now because they issued those warnings, I want to say last October. So we're coming up on like a whole year, I think, of KuCoin being not accessible
Whoa.
in the US. Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, guys, I've started in the foreign exchange markets. I've done all the hopping, all the crazy hoop loops you have to get through. Eventually they find out, and the US does hey, tell us what's happening here. We're gonna put this sanction on you or whatever. But yeah, Uphold is going to be one of the best places that you can purchase it. I do think we get a T1 listing sometime here before this bull run is over. Hopefully sooner than later. We're able to purchase on something like Kraken or Coinbase. But for the time being, Uphold's probably going to be your best go-to for a U.S. customer.
Angel Estrada says, would it be smart just to take profits from Casper this bull run and leave XRP for long-term hold?
So I'm going to try to interpret your question the best I can here. So to take profits from Casper this bull run and leave XRP for the long-term hold. So I'm not sure if you're asking, should I leave all of my XRP as a long-term hold and sell none of it? Because I personally am not approaching my strategy that way. I am going to be depleting almost all of my Casper, at the take profits because it's a small cap right now, and those same returns are not going to be on the table in coming cycles. So I definitely going to be executing most of my position in Casper. Will that go immediately back into XRP? When XRP is at a few bucks? No, I will absolutely be waiting for better bear market prices, waiting for a correction, looking and making sure I still have opportunity to jump on other things. So I will be taking profits on both of those. I'll be taking profits more heavily in Casper. You guys have heard me talk about the XRP strategy of holding, let's say 25 to 30% long term. That percentage is going to be completely up to you, your cost basis, whatever's going on for you. And the goal is to eventually borrow against that XRP in the future. XRP is my Bitcoin, it's my Ethereum, it's my Solana, whatever you guys want to compare it to, of whatever thing that you're most bullish on long term. I will be holding portions of that, but I will not be foolish, and I will not be leaving 80 or 90% of my bag on the table and watch all those gains go back into a bear market. I would much rather de-risk and then also have the capability, guys, remember, to jump on new projects in a new cycle. You don't want to get stuck. You don't want to be holding everything long term and then be like, damn, maybe if I had even given up half of my liquidity, I would have all this cash right now to be able to deploy into new projects, look at other small cap opportunities, whatever, even if it means re-adding to your XRP opportunity into another cycle. It gives you that flexibility to see what's happening with the market. You don't want to be completely locked up, but you also want to have some exposure. So that's my strategy to that, is holding some long-term, but still eliminated exposure at the peak of the bull market, because we all know what happens after the peak of a bull market. Even if, let's say, we get a shallow bull market, let's say it's minus 60%, that's pretty aggressive, guys, right? Like losing 60% of everything you saw in the bull. I don't want to be there. So I'm going to make sure to take plenty of profits this coming bull run.
Hanny says, XRP looks like it's about to bust. Can we expect a bullish run?
Good Lord, I'm about to bust. It absolutely looks like it's about to bust. I've shown you guys the long-term chart for XRP. We've looked at the 2-week charts. We looked at the monthly charts. I've shown you guys so many times how long XRP's been cooking up. So on a bigger scale, yeah, it's been cooked for a long time. On a smaller scale, we can actually jump to the chart here really quickly. When we look at the reversal that we've had here in XRP, and again, the faith always comes when we have a very big set of impulses in here. We look at the bottoming here. So July 5. So you guys remember, like we just talked about with Casper wicking that new low. XRP reached a low here right around 38 cents. So we dropped over like a 3-day period from 48 to 38. So that was a pretty big drop. But from there, from July 5, we did a 66% move over 12 days. So 14 days to erase all of this price action from April all the way into July. That is a lot of downward price action erased. You guys can also see we did a little throwback here. It's probably hard to see, but you can see we did a little wick throwback here to the 54-cent area where we previously had all these tops in here from April all the way through May. We're flagging in here right now, and we actually have an update here on XRP trying to get a little break on that flagging structure. So the big area, though, we have to reclaim and show that it's a more meaningful area is going to be kind of like this 73-cent area. If we can start building a new floor of support on top of 73, then we don't really have another resistance level until 142 and 174 respectively. And of course, and then we're starting to look at the previous all-time highs of right around $3. So I hope you guys can see that when you look left to right too, like what are you just generally doing? You're just making higher lows. That's all you want to see in a long-term chart. And too many of you guys don't look at this perspective. You don't look at what's been happening since 2020 forward. You guys zoom in on your Coinbase chart at what's happening for today, and you're like, I knew I should have bought. Like, you can't approach it that way. And like, too many people think that they're going to outsmart the market makers. You're going to outsmart the market. I promise you won't, which is why we go with the slow and steady approach of like, building. Once you've reached over a certain level that's no longer makes sense for your risk to reward wise, back off, let the market do what it's going to do. It's a much more simple approach. Most of you guys are not even emotionally equipped to deal with the kind of trading that you think that you're going to be doing, right? So I would encourage you guys, if this is your first cycle, still go low and slow. Do not feel like you have to pile into the market. Find opportunities that are still further back in their cumulative cycles and capitalize on those, but still with a slow and steady approach. Too many people feel like the FOMO. Try to eliminate the FOMO, right? Try to be an emotionless investor as much as humanly possible.
Truck says, Trump is going to save crypto. I don't know why you guys constantly hate on him.
Oh my God. All right.
Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like so many people have selective hearing, and I know that you guys have selective hearing because I can go back and I can pull receipts from show after show after show. And if you guys are a subscriber and you guys are on my show, you guys know how I approach the political realm. And this is not just for the US government, because we don't just talk about the US government or US policies, we talk about policies all around the world, and we criticize all leaders all around the world. If you guys follow my content, you guys would know that I have criticized Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, but Joe Biden. I have criticized all these people independently for bad policies, destroying liberty, not helping us move forward in regulatory framework. I am very, very direct with my disdain for the government in general. So yes, Trump is a hot topic right now, but I could sit here for an hour and a half and I could talk about all the things I don't like about Kamala's policy and her previous decisions as a prosecutor. I can sit here and I could talk about all that, but it's not relevant, right? Like, it's not relevant to the conversation. So when I point out that Trump actively and while in his presidency, so again, had the elected capacity to make a difference here, chose not to help crypto. In fact, pushed crypto down by calling Bitcoin a scam out to debase the US dollar. I don't have time to tell you this. And this is not my opinion. You guys can go look for yourselves. Don't ever take anything I say and be like, well, Matt said it, but I think he's just this type of, political party. I don't identify with the political parties you guys think I identify with. In fact, like, libertarian, moving into anarchy pretty quickly here, guys. So like, I'm not here to like pump up any particular presidential individual. I just have very little faith that somebody who so overtly attacked the crypto industry and did nothing, zero, zip, zilch for 4 years to help this industry forward, that now, because they're desperate to get back in office again, that they're going to do something different this time, right? Like that. I mean, that's like going back to your ex. Well, I hope it's going to be different this time, and that's how I feel about it. So again, do I think Kamala fixes crypto? Do I think that she saves the industry either? No, absolutely not. I just have a previous direct example of somebody who had the power to make a difference and chose not to. So that's all it comes down to, guys. And if you have a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. You need to do some critical thinking. You need to not be, my team. Like, it has nothing to do with your team. Your team should be crypto. Your team should be your money. Your team should be your portfolio. And that's it. So for me, I don't think that Trump is going to make up the difference that we think he's going to make.
That's a good perspective, Matty. And, in a way, I appreciate these questions because I think it is important to listen to people that are going to extend your knowledge base. So we are here for crypto. And so when you come here, you're hoping maybe for some education, some insight, maybe a little bit of entertainment, right? But talking about politics is, I think I saw a comment of this the other day on one of our shows. It was like, it really doesn't even matter. And that's, unfortunately, the approach I look at it. I voiced how I feel about it on After Hours, and it's like everything's heading in this direction already. Like, there has been a 180 flip in crypto sentiment in America. There has been. Now, it is a lot of talking. It is a lot of talking, and we haven't seen actually anything real world happen. But it is in a better circumstance than when we were in before, right? And so I think people hear us, criticize their favorite politician, and they don't even think about, like, I don't know. I don't think we've been very overt about politics here, Matty, about what we're voting or, how we really think about things. It's like, I'll never vote for Kamala, but I am critical of Trump, and that doesn't mean right. But I'm not Team Trump. I'm critical of Trump. And I have, I see a lot of myself, which means nothing. Like, I see a lot of myself in Trump. I see like his business ethics, or maybe not ethics, maybe his business outlook. When you look up to bigger businessmen, you want to aspire to be like that, right? So that is aspirational. I can't find anything about Kamala where it's aspirational as a leader. If you come from like a team, which I think a lot of people come from, Matty, is like this team background, sports, like ride or die for your team. Don't be critical of them. And it's like, well, actually, like the teams I was focused on, like growing up, was like, hey, we like helped our teammates. We gave them a little constructive criticism to help them. That's how I look at it, you know? And so this is like, we're Americans here. And so I want my leadership to know that as a citizen, this is a different direction that you should head in, and not, be a panderer or flip because Biden flipped, or, just be the opposite of Biden. Like, what is the best for America, right? That's what I want. And I think you guys like overlook that point. It's like, oh, he's criticizing Trump. He's a lefty. That's what I see in the comment section. It's like,
which is wild.
That's wrong. And so, team, I appreciate these comments. Matty, I know you appreciate them as well, because sometimes it's like, okay, what comments are we getting from you guys this week? And we don't want to be repetitive. And when you guys bring, comments that are good or bad, I appreciate it. I like it. I like talking about Casper. I like talking about XRP. I like even talking about politics sometimes, as long as it's in the right context for the show. I don't want us to get so far off where it's like, I get into the things that I hate and dislike. That has nothing to do with crypto here. No, we keep it crypto focused here, and you'll get a smidge of us, being critical of politicians and
as you should, guys. You should be critical of politicians. And I think that's part of the problem, is that, like you said, we get so wrapped up in the team aspect of it that people are not willing to admit the overt faults that we see in any politician, whether it be here in the US, whether it be over in Europe, criticizing Macron, criticizing anybody. You should always have any politician under a microscopic lens and accept nothing less than things that are good for you and good for the economy and good for the world.
Hey, I was just criticizing Casper, the Casper team at the top of the show, for taking so long. Hey, we can be critical of people, right, and still, absolutely, we're not on Casper team. I'm not on, Kamala's team. I'm not on any politician's team. I'm not on any crypto project's team. I will sit here and be critical because I want the best for these people, and I will offer constructive criticism, which I think is valid. And I don't think any of this is in bad taste. Okay, right. Team, thanks for joining the show today. Great show today. So if you got something valuable, make sure you leave a like. If you want to be up to date with everything that's going on, I suggest you become a CryptoCharged member, and you can get this every single day. And that is all we have for today, team. We will see you next week. Bye.